Okay, now let's talk about horizon line and perspective. Perspective in drawing is the technique used to create the illusion of depth and three-dimensional space on a two-dimensional surface. It is the way of representing a three-dimensional object on a two-dimensional plane by creating the illusion of depth and space. So I'm going to start with the horizon line. The horizon line is usually referred to the line where the sky meets the ground. Let's say the horizon line is right in the middle of our page here. And I'm going to use ruler for this example just for the purpose of this video to make it more clear. Traditionally, you have to be a good drawer without using ruler as your drawing tool. So the position of the horizon line also determines the type of perspective that is being used in the drawing. For example, in one-point perspective, the horizon line is placed at eye level, while in two-point perspective, the horizon line is usually placed above or below the eye level. I'm gonna quickly just give you an example of what a one-point perspective could be or could look like. For example, if you are just walking on a pathway and this pathway is very long, you probably cannot see the end of it, but as you're going very far away is going to end up just into one point. So if I would continue these lines from my pathway, eventually they will intersect each other into one point here, right? And these are my vanishing points. The vanishing points are referred to the points on the horizon line where all parallel lines seem to converge and disappear into the distance. These points are crucial in creating the illusion of depth and perspective in drawing. So here's an example of my one-point perspective drawing. Here's another example of a one-point perspective drawing. Let's say if you are sitting in a bedroom and looking to the other side of the bedroom where it's just a wall, everything is connecting into one point. So everything that is in that room should follow those vanishing points. So here is an example of a two-point perspective with two vanishing points. This one is more at the eye level, it's just with the cube, and then the one that is elevated and the one that is below the eye level. So above the eye level and below the eye level. With the one with the below the eye level, you can almost see inside it. The one with the above the eye level, you can see underneath it. And the one that is right with the eye level, we can only see the sides of it and front of it. Okay, for example, here we have a drawing of a building with a two-point perspective. One side of the building is just vanishes to this point and the other side vanishes to that other point that is almost outside of my page here. So here's another two-point perspective building or an object. I'm just trying it with a cube again. If I would continue each parallel line, they will vanish to these 2 points. Okay, here I have a cube that I'm going to show from a 3-point perspective. So this is how I can show the vanishing point of this cube. So this is a view from top or bottom. So if I would just draw all of these lines, will vanish somewhere outside of my page here, my paper. There we go. And this one. And same thing goes down. Here's another vanishing point. And it's going to be outside of my page here, and we won't be able to see it. Okay, I want to try adding some trees in color to this drawing, and let's just try something with these watercolor pencils. As you get closer, things get bigger, and the farther these trees are, the smaller they're going to appear. Again, I'm just working from imagination, and I have a reference photo in front of me, but feel free to use any reference photos to help yourself better with what actually things look like. So you want to be observing objects, trees, nature, everything around you, and develop your observational skills. Another way that you can improve your drawing is by copying the works of the masters. So you will be creating a master copy pretty much. So you always want to look at the shape, the lines, the form that an object had, and just mimic that form, that shape, and continue that pattern. There's one version of a pine tree, and as they are just in one line, you can just repeat the same thing. Just keep in mind that the farther objects get, the blurrier things get. The closer they are, the bolder and darker they get. So some areas I'm just scribbling, some areas I actually, as I get closer and draw lines, I very clearly show the shape and create an outline around it. You can also work with mixed medium. So for example, I could add soft pastel to this and use markers, pens. Your drawing doesn't have to be dull and boring at all. You can include as many colors as you want. All right. Something like this. You can give it a try as well. Okay, I want to quickly also show you how this watercolor pencils work in case you will end up trying them. So I just have a brush and very slightly just working on creating this tree. And I kind of like to leave some of the lines, the pencil lines as they are, and not go over them. It looks more natural that way. And then once it dries, I can go over this drawing again and add more layers to complete my drawing. So here's an example for you. If you want to give it a try, you may want to take a photo from a pathway that you always take and use that as a reference to draw something similar. Although adding colors may complicate things a little bit because you also need to learn a little bit more about color theory and mixing different different colors and how you can layer them to get the desired color or the color you're looking for, but it's much more fun. So as you can see, when you use your drawing medium from different sides, you get different marks. Right now I'm using it from the wider side and I get very soft and wider coverage, versus if I was using the corner, it gives me a line. These kind of trees here.